Hello, everyone. This is the July Mises Caucus meeting for the Mises Caucus of Ohio. Obviously, the best Mises Caucus. I mean, does Michigan even deserve the nap? Let's get real. Though I'm joking. I'm not even an OSU fan. I live in Columbus, and people bother me for that apparently. So, and we're just gonna do. It's gonna be a bit of a hodgepodge. But first, kind of thing I wanted to go over was just a retrospective of, hey, what have we done? Where have we been? Where are we going? And how we've been doing. Because it's been really good. So the Ohio Mises Caucus started when the Mises Caucus started. What was that back in 2017, 18? Has it been 3 or 4 years? Does anyone remember?
17.
17? Okay. So back in simpler times when we thought we couldn't get locked down in our house for a year, but apparently we were wrong. Never even thought of it. So Mises Caucus started back then and then fell apart in Ohio due to Ohio. You don't want to know, but it has a history of burning out volunteers of all stripes, not just the Mises Caucus. And then it kind of restarted this last year around just right after the Orlando convention, and we've been growing like crazy. So last year we were not having many socials in person. We were having like a meeting on Zoom, and a good attendance for a meeting was, let's say, 3 people. And now this month we have what, 3 or 4 in-person socials plus this, which has what, 12 people now. And that's been pretty consistent. So like we had the Summit County event recently, which was also 12 people in person. The mass burning in July was 20 or 30 something, but we didn't actually take names at it. And I'm expecting at least 8 people with the next 2 socials coming. So it's going really well. We're doing lots of stuff in person, having fun, having a party, which is what really matters, right? Who wants to be at a revolution with no dancing? Whose quote is that? I like stealing quotes. Was that a Ron Paul quote? No, that
That
wasn't.
was Ron Paul.
That was okay. Was it dancing or was it something else?
You'll need young people in music, I think it was.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm youngish. I feel older every day. Whenever I meet someone and they say that they are born after 2000, it just hurts. Uh, there's none of you on the call, is there? I don't know. We're young.
Every good revolution needs 2 things: young people and music.
Okay, yeah, sounds right. So, but we've been doing well, and then we had obviously 0 volunteers at this time last year, and then we had like 3 volunteers like at the county level, then back down to 1 for a bit, and now we have, I want to say, 6 other organizers that are actually going to be up on the website shortly. So that's going really well. And then there's a couple of big things that we're going to push for this year. One of them is the county organization growth. So that's something that both kind of it benefits the party a lot because Ohio has been had very few counties affiliated, and now it has way more. And then it's also a question of, if we're trying to have influence in the party, you need to hold positions of influence, and the county chairs lets you be at the national delegate and all that. So we are planning on having a larger share of the national delegation, although with how Ohio works, you'll never have the majority you'll never have all of them in any one group. It's not like the states that choose that convention. And hopefully we're going to have a few people join the central committee that tomorrow. We have a number of like county chairs that are now like, because they started their own counties before they got involved and did stuff. Like I'm in Franklin County and I'm hosting Franklin County Socials, and make them a co-host with the Mises Caucus because it makes my job easier. But then okay, so that's what we've done so far. We've grown a lot. We've started doing things in person and met people, but what do we want to do going forward? What is the plan for the rest of the year? So one of the big things is keep growing county parties. We just got a volunteer recently that's going to help out at the state level, helping them just do the bureaucratic grunt work of calling everyone and emailing them to set that up. So we are donating resources to the state that they need really desperately, because I know Helen's doing that and she works like a crazy person and there's still not enough time in the day because she's managing all 88 counties by herself. And it's like, that's a lot. Well, it's not all 88, 'cause I think 10 are already affiliated. So it's like 78, but it's still a lot. And she wants to do them all by the end of the year. So good luck. Or is it by the end of it might even by the end of the year by like, or is it by 60 of them by the end of the year? It was a lot. Whatever it was like, this is crazy, but more power to you and I'll help where I can. And then the other one that we're doing is, of course, moving forward with those kind of ballot initiatives, and especially at a local level. So one of those is like the qualified immunity stuff happening right now. So there's, I've not given this out to everybody yet because I'm still trying to get more petition packets. But Ohio is trying to put on the ballot a ballot initiative to end qualified immunity in Ohio. And does everyone know what it is, or does anyone want to run down? I can give it anyways. I just like talking.
Yeah. I could also point you to some 10th Amendment Center videos that really cover it in great detail. But
yeah, and I was reading the book, what is it, The Thin Black Line, about the Columbus Police Department specifically's like history of abuse. I know all you Cincinnati and Cleveland people, you're probably worse. But yeah, no, there's like this wild stuff in it of like this officer caught on camera he has this person lying on the ground, handcuffed behind their back, just stomping on their head. And of course, he's not prosecuted criminally. And they're going to give him like 3 days suspension, which is nothing. And then like activists freaked out, so they decided to fire him. But then the police union freaked out, so they decided to rehire him. And then the activists freaked out again. And they're like putting up billboards of like, watch out for this dangerous predator who's on the cops. And the cops are like, oh no, people know to watch out for him now and he's in danger. Let's promote him to specialty detective desk work that pays extra. And yeah. And of course, qualified immunity means you can't also get any medical damages or lawsuits, which is just lovely. I love it when police get extra powers, because overlords, they deserve their power and their protection from everything. So yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah, so that's a really big deal. The petition happening for it. I'm at like, I don't know, 20 signatures myself. And then as soon as I have enough sets of packets to send them out, I will be sending them out to our organizers, to any of the state socials that are happening, and get that on the ballot, because it's something that really needs to happen. There's obviously other trainings, and I actually do need to send out emails about this, but there are other organizations in Ohio, like Americans for Prosperity, that are happy to partner with us and do things. They actually doing their own training on ending cash bail and qualified immunity later this month, and I need to write an email about that.
I got to sit on the first workshop today, Drake.
Nice.
It went pretty well. Yeah, we can catch up on it later, but yeah, it went good.
No, perfect, because I was going to send it out and I want to make sure that you got to it. This is one of our organizers. I don't know if actually your name's going to be public soon on the website anyways, so. Let's see. So we're doing.
Sorry, do you happen to have the PDF to those petitions? Because I reached out to Kevin Kahn last week and I was on vacation. He's supposed to send me the PDF to those petitions because I can print them out. And that's one thing I definitely want to get on, is that ending qualified immunity.
The problem is they serialize petition packets. I don't know why they did it, and they shouldn't need to. But then maybe they're like doing it to try to prevent fraud or something. But you actually need to be sent your own number, because if they have a repeat of the serialization, it makes them useless. So I managed to claim 4 for myself, but they're not the 11 by 17s. They're the petition packets. The petition packets, you can only have 1 packet per county. So I've already used all 4 of mine just because of different counties in the area. So I have like one that has a single name on it because I had one person show up from Logan County and like, I'll take your signature, but now this packet's useless for anyone else. So I don't know if that answers your question, but more packets are on the way. And I don't know why they didn't give us more. You'd think like the Libertarian Party is the biggest group doing this. They should give us at like 400 to start, but hey.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they serialized it, because I was just waiting on the PDF and I was going to run them off and get a couple hundred signatures. So I'll wait to hear from Kevin on that.
If you can get a couple hundred signatures, that is
easy.
Difficult.
Guaranteed. Yeah, I love petitions.
Okay, so you've done it before. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, for decades.
Okay, then we will. Hey, Drew, send me an email after this, and we'll have you run.
Yes, sir.
You're our guest next week, unless I find someone else. You're our guest next month for that. I need to do libertarian petitions because I need to learn more. I haven't done one seriously since 2016.
Is it too early to tell, like, how optimistic are you feeling about this getting on the ballot, or is it like still just kicking off?
It's probably guaranteed, and the only question is when. And we'll just keep, because the petitions don't go bad. So as long as you have people keep pushing it, it'll eventually get on. Although actually what might happen is there's a decent chance that if it looks like we have a good shot of getting it on before an election, there's a good chance that Congress will the state Congress will pass the law in advance. Because what will happen is if we put it on the ballot in 2022, Democrats will come out en masse to vote for it. So the Republican state Congress will pass it into law in advance, so we don't put it on the ballot, so we don't bring Democrats out to vote. So as soon as we get close enough, there's a good chance they'll just pass into law without us even putting it on the ballot, which would be nice. But yeah, it's a system. It's not a good one, but it works. It's happened before.
Can I ask, is that this is to make a law? This isn't to amend the Ohio Constitution, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm not a fan of ballot initiatives to amend Constitution. Just look at Florida, which is a funny mess because I think it's a simple majority of the population voting amends Florida's Constitution. So they put a bunch of laws through as constitutional amendments because it's easier than getting them through the state Congress. So stuff like their light rail line is a constitutional amendment. What that means is it's an absolute priority. So even when their budget's falling apart and they have no money, they still have to fund their like 5 times over budget light rail line because it's in the Constitution. It's great. I love those weird mess up things. It's horrible for them, but it's a funny train wreck to watch. Pun unintended. I'm easily distracted. Where was I? So yeah, so we're working on that stuff. We're working on the petition stuff, and I want to get us to pass some of these small nullification level bills in the city or state level. I haven't. What target thing we could do? Do you think we could get 10 cities to pass a law by the end of the year? Because I don't know what a reasonable target is, but whatever we set, we're gonna hit it. Or I'll work you all into the ground trying. Don't worry, I'll sit here real comfy like while you all run around.
I'm good with 10.
Sorry?
I'm good with 10.
Does everyone else feel 10?
Somehow I missed the topic in there. What?
What we're trying to do is we're trying to have various towns pass libertarian law. So it's nullification, but at the more local level. So we had a libertarian mayor decrim marijuana in her city of like 5,000, and it's like that is
okay. I was just missing the part where you might have stated something more specific, but you mean I'm all over it. That would be good. 10 cities. Yeah,
or 10 laws total. So if one city passes 3, I will count that. In fact, if one city passes 3, I will buy you everything you can drink that night at the bar. No, I'm not going to do that. I will buy you dinner. Not going to buy
only if it passes this year, right?
Yeah, if you can get 3 laws through, like you personally can like show you're responsible for 3 of our pieces of legislation to pass through, I will take you out to a nice dinner place.
My goal is 5 to pass next year because hopefully by then I will be on city council.
Yeah, well, if you're on city council and the offer is not open, I will amend that. I expect 20 or something. I don't know, but yeah, no. If you're on city council, it's a bit easier. So it's a lot. Although that's still, we will support you running for city council, and you should do it. But it is. I'm lost what I was talking about. But yeah, so I'm not gonna buy. Maybe I'll cap it at one dinner. Yeah, that's all I'll say. 3 laws per year, cap it at 1 dinner per person, but do it. Just win.
Oh, you can eat breadsticks at Olive Garden. He said it.
Oh, I'll take you to a nice place.
You can keep your microwave Italian.
God, I can cook better than all. Actually, if I couldn't cook better than Olive Garden, I'd be worried. So that's one of the big ones. I want us to pass pieces of legislation. So this is decriminating marijuana to be a tap on the wrist. You can't make it totally legal in Ohio due to what the state law. This is stopping no-knock raids. This is I'm trying to remember what the rest were. They're actually looking for more pieces of legislation right now.
Civil asset forfeiture.
Civil asset forfeiture. I think they did some qualified. I don't think they did any qualified immunity stuff at the local level, but they did banning stingrays, some police militarization stuff.
I've heard people talk about, I suppose, Second Amendment sanctuaries.
Yep, Second Amendment sanctuaries.
Maybe that's the wrong way to put it. It's just called firearm or gun rights sanctuaries, whatever you want to call it.
Well, they call it sanctuary cities because it's the psychedelic decrim. I'll take that also. I'll give you double points for psychedelic decrim, and I'll give you double points for anything at the county level. But yeah, so Drew is the main person in charge of that generally, and I'm going to try to set up a system to support him. But that's the big one. So 10 pieces through this year, legislation, and then I don't think we can track a certain number of petition signatures. Yeah, I'm not sure to track the other goals. They're too mixed in with the rest of the party. So I'm like, I couldn't tell which signature came from Mises Caucus, which came from the LP generally. But this is one that we can track pretty easily that no one else is doing. So, yeah. Any other big goals that you guys want to have? I know one. I do want us to also have more people join the LP nationally. I'm going to put a call out in the not too distant future. So what happens is for the national convention, they determine how many votes you get at it based on the number of registered libertarians, like registered with the National Party Libertarians in your state. So, and the state right ahead of us is Pittsburgh, it's Pennsylvania. So if you want to give the finger to the people in Pennsylvania for what they did, every 50 people we have signed up, like we get an extra delegate to national convention, and we'll be taking away a couple of theirs. So I wouldn't complain. Or is it every 50 or is it the next one of 50? It was something like that. There's some number where we can take one from them.
Just to tag along with that too, I highly recommend if you guys aren't already members, become members of the Pennsylvania Libertarian Party, so that way we can vote the next time around too.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that we would go there and we would just vote to stop out-of-state people voting, and then we can just leave. That's the goal. Pennsylvania is nonsense. I don't know if we have a goal for people showing up to the conference, because the conference is coming up in month and a half. It's like August 20th through 22nd, and that one is just a social. It's not a business meeting. There's not stuff done there, but it's like, hey, if you want to actually meet everyone in the Ohio LP and who actually gets stuff done and runs meetings, and who, if you eventually are in a leadership position where we're working with, this is the best time to do it because it's fun. They're having trainings. They're bringing Spike Cohen in to speak. I'm going to have a Mises Caucus booth with free swag, a bunch of pins and things. It will be convention exclusive. So if you really just need more pins in your life, I know I don't. I have too many pins.
Koozies are always the way to go.
Say it again?
Koozies are the best thing to give away.
I don't know if the box is coming in a couple of days, and then I'm like, I need to figure out if I want to give away anything else. Might have my husband do caricatures and sell those. I was trying to think, what would be a good thing to sell a libertarian convention? I'm not selling drugs because Chrissy is already doing that, and the state chair has threatened to kick her out if she does that. So, but I was thinking of raising some money and donating it to the wife of what's her name?
Wasn't the wife of the guy who was shot in the hallway, was it? The
Yeah.
2016 thing?
Shaver.
Schaefer,
Daniel
Shafer.
Shaver's wife. I was planning to donate the money to her that we raised. I'm not planning on raising much because that's everyone's already like it is a fundraiser for the LP of Ohio, so everyone's already spending money to get there. So and also there will be a hospitality room with free booze. It will be really cheap booze. But I am also taking requests because Franklin County is hosting the hospitality room, so I will be one of the people buying it. I was told Jack Daniels, and I don't know, and that is all I've been told so far. So,
Do we have to sign up? Did you already send out a link to sign up to this ahead of time?
yeah, or here, I'll just pull it up right now. Share my screen for a second. LPO.org. And this is if you ever want to see stuff. They have a fairly up-to-date calendar. I also need to add to, I'm not sharing my screen yet. LPO.org/events. I need to add this to the list, but we should actually start posting our events on this calendar. But they have state conference. Tickets aren't that cheap, but they're not crazy considering we got Spike and some other important people to speak. And if you need to stay at the hotel, it's actually really cheap. It is $75 a night for like the full room. We got it right as the COVID stuff was hitting the hardest. Full weekend package is $250 or $240. Saturday, Sunday is just shy of 200. Saturday only is 165. So we can party.
Joe Bishop Henchman is still listed as a speaker. You think that's updated?
Where is he listed as a speaker?
Go back to the top because I was just looking at the website myself. Oh, see, there was a thing. The one I was on had a thing for speakers. I don't know why yours is different.
Maybe in the agenda, but I don't remember him being a speaker. Maybe you're
I don't
looking
remember
at
seeing him on the list either.
Or maybe you're looking at the state convention.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
The convention is not until next year. I don't know.
Oh no! Wait a minute. I'm actually looking. See. I just Googled it, and that's why you don't Google things.
Oh,
and
you
just click
found
the
last
first
year's
thing.
convention?
I'm looking at 2020.
Okay, makes sense.
That's
No, but there's gonna be some
going to be
people.
funny.
No, but there's gonna be some neat people there. I can't remember who is like a couple elected libertarians, Spike Cohen, other people. I hear rumors of wild karaoke parties, which I know you're all down for. Yeah, so just lpo.org/events. And also, if you're not a member of the state party, would recommend signing up. We are lucky to be in Ohio because they're better than a lot of states. Like you saw it in what is it? The New Hampshire, if you've ever played like Werewolf or Among Us or any of those games, people can fake it. But then when the chips are down, they kind of reveal true colors, and that's kind of what New Hampshire was. And Ohio came out on the right side of history and smelling like roses. So I'm happy to see it. But
I got a chance last night to clear things up with one of the CENTCOM members about what actually happened in New Hampshire. He had a ton of misinformation.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, well, when you put it like that, that's kind of a messed up situation.
Yep. But CENTCOM they're really important when they have their meetings, but they happen rarely. We have 4 people that are planning on applying for CENTCOM this weekend. If anyone else wants to and has not yet, I'm happy to take more applications if you live in the right district in Ohio. But the meetings are kind of sporadic. So if you can't make it this weekend, the next one is maybe October, November, or maybe next year. No idea yet. But I'm just going to write down the list of goals. So 10 pieces of legislation. How do you guys feel about running for office or helping people run for office? Because the difficulty in Ohio is the Libertarian Party is not on the ballot, but we can still run independents, and we still have some independents currently in office, especially because it's super local races. So this is the mayor. This is the town. What is it called in a township? Township trustees, other things like that. I know Drew's planning on running.
I am running. There's no planning. I have filed. I am running.
Perfect. Do we want to set a goal for number of candidates that we run next year? Because the election is 2022. I don't know many people like to run as candidates. That is one of the harder ones to do. But if you guys want to run,
Drake.
Yep.
I'm interested, not right away though.
Okay. What does that mean? Like you would run, but not next year?
No, I might next year. I would be willing to. The right support, the right people. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to try to do it by myself. It's
What town do you live in, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Lebanon, Ohio.
Oh, you're right up the road.
Oh, right on.
I'm in Morrow.
1 sec.
Near
Where is
Morrow.
this geographically?
You said Morrow? Oh, right on.
Yeah. Oh, you're near Franklin. Or
Yeah.
sorry, Cincinnati. Oh, never mind. I'm mixed up.
Well, both. Franklin's right next to us.
I'm not thinking Franklin County. Like I thought.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. No, so we have a number of people around Cincinnati. I want to a number of our fairly active people. So and that's a small enough population that you have a decent chance. Any idea what you're going to run for? What you would want to run for? Blah, blah, blah.
It'd probably be council or city council or like a county. You know, there's county commissioners, I think.
Gotcha. 7 members.
Just throwing this out there while you got a second of downtime. I'd love a Mises Caucus endorsement, Drake. I filled out the form probably like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, like the national form?
Yeah.
Okay, I cannot promise you anything. I don't have sway in that.
What kind of pull do you have? None?
I mean, I'll
Useless.
I will ask them for you and I will push you, but I don't know. I haven't been involved in that side of it. And like how to say this, in terms of getting an endorsement, in terms of like, hey, we think you're a great candidate, you'll get that for sure. I just can't promise you the money.
Me?
Or whoever.
I don't want the money.
Oh, if you just want like the Mises Caucus thinks you're a great candidate and you should win, yeah, you'll have that endorsement day you ask for it. I thought you meant so the full endorsement form is the Mises Caucus nationally. Here, I'll just.
Yeah, I when I filled it out, I don't even think I asked for any money.
Yeah, so I think they give money or volunteer hours and money equivalent.
No, I live in a town of 10,000 people. I don't need money.
Yeah. Let's say how much money they're giving out. Oh, that's funny.
Ohio has weird laws with campaign finance stuff, so I definitely don't ever want to collect more than 2,000. Otherwise, I have to file a bunch more papers.
Yeah, it looks like 1,500 or 1,000 of their standard donations for most stuff. Nice. Okay, no, but then if you want that, then we will for sure be supporting you. I guess the question is, how many people do we want to run? Do we want to shoot for 3? So if we have Drew is for sure, and then we have one maybe on the call, and we can find one more, we can probably do 3.
I'm always willing, but I want to understand what's going on here first. I'm still new to Ohio, so
that's fair.
I've been here a year, so
you're fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, okay, so I was going to run for city council in Middletown, Ohio when I was like 25. And because of some clerical errors, we have two counties, Butler and Warren, that are side by side, and our city sits on top of the county line like that. And my petitions had some from one, some from the other, so it screwed the whole thing up. And it's just too hard for me trying to go around doing that. I don't know who else I'm supposed to ask, to help me do just even the most basic of things. You know what I mean?
Sorry, say it one more time. What was the issue?
I can help with most of that.
Okay, man, that sounds great. Yeah, I mean, even information would help me out,
No, here is Ohio has had a number of elected libertarians. We have a relatively effective party, and they are also really good at dealing with the state in terms of electoral law. We've gone to court against the government a lot of times and won. So if you are trying to do that, like the Ohio party has connections in the board of elections and all that stuff. Like we know the people
Okay.
that we can do this. They just don't have anyone to run because we have more motivated volunteers than the party of Ohio had a year ago. I'm not sure, but I think the number of active people on the Mises Caucus list for Ohio is probably around the total number of like active Ohio libertarians a year ago. Like
Wow,
it's something in
okay.
that range. So if you are interested in doing it, shoot me an email after this so I can have you on the list, and we'll make it happen.
Okay, right on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So 3 candidates or 3 wins. Not too crazy, and that's great. I'm just trying to figure out how many people voted in Lebanon, Warren County. When I see
Drake, do you know if Dominic Ewing is in the Mises Caucus or not? 'Cause I know he's running for his city council, and I know he's in Richland County.
Okay. So I just saw. So looks like the last vote in Lebanon had less than 3,000 total people voting. That doesn't sound right. Or is that for that's the school district? I don't know.
Well, it would depend on what would have been on the ballot and when. I mean, I worked the polls for the 2020 election in Lebanon, and it was far more than that. But that doesn't mean it isn't regularly on some local issue or whatever.
Yeah, no, but I'm just wondering how many people like you have to swing for.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
I don't think it'd be that many. And is it probably as nonpartisan? Be my guess. The city council races.
I don't really remember. It's probably that way. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All good. Well, we'll deal it all later. So what was their question was, is this random person in the Mises Caucus? And the honest answer, I have no idea.
I'll reach out to him.
Well, I'll look up his name, but even if he's on the email list, doesn't necessarily mean anything. So, and if he's not, recruit him. Just say, hey, you want a bunch more volunteers for your campaign? This is where to go. Yeah, so that's a goal. This is apparently 10 piece legislation, 3 electoral wins next year, which I think 3 is doable. That's probably the way harder goal, especially 3 wins. But then the thing is, most of the people in the Mises Caucus are relatively new to electoral politics, and we need some races just to get in the reps, just to get the practice of this is how filing works, this is how everything does. And the great thing is Ohio has a really strong support system, so they will help us do it. And we put together a team, like each of you will get an extra large team of like 5 or 10 people, even for a smaller race. And all of those people will then know how a race works for the future. The other big one is with growing all the county affiliates, we're going to keep hosting the socials in random county affiliates, because like Summit County had 11 people show up to the social because it was co-hosted in Mises Caucus. And actually, wait, who hosted the Summit County one? Let me see.
I'm from Summit, but like I said, I didn't make it.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to remember. I didn't get the numbers from him, but I assume like most of the counties, when they host their socials by themselves, are like lucky to get like 4 people. So the goal is to make it so when you host a social, it feels more pleasant because you're not the only one there. Like, you don't want to have your new person show up excited and there are 2 of you there and they're like, oh, they're losers, I'm gonna leave. And then at like the last, or not this month, but last month's social in Cleveland, like we brought together people to form a county party there. So what would be a good goal for the socials? Just keep doing 1 social a month, all 3 areas? Right?
Yeah, I think so. And if you're going to go, try to bring 1 person with you.
Yeah.
Or just increasing attendance each consecutive one.
Well, I think we've been doing fairly well on attendance. It's more a question of just making them happen. So
I think like
sorry.
I say like I think like once a month in each one is good because like I don't know, it's not a huge commitment. I think that's probably like a nice low level. Plus to like just hang out and like chat about stuff. I don't have a ton of other people to talk about libertarian-y things with,
Yeah.
so I think we probably all use it.
And when I've talked to our like region rep, none of the other states are hosting like in-person stuff like we are. I mean, just like it is 3 in-person events a month. And like most of them are lucky to have 1 every 2 months. But I hate Zoom calls. So and I'm on Zoom calls all the time. So that's why I'm pushing this so hard, and it's working. So yeah, so I'm going to say an average of at least 1 social a month in all 3 regions. So that way, if we miss a month, we can just host 2 a different month to make up for it. Starting July. So yeah, I think that's achievable. Sweet. So then the 3 goals would be 10-piece legislation passed, 3 electoral wins, and an average of 1 social in all 3 major areas, so Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, an average of at least 1 a month. And because those are the 3 planks of Mises Caucus, is growing and strengthening the Libertarian Party. So that's the socials, like for the party. It is passing legislation, which is the 10 pieces, and then it is the winning local elections, which is the 3 electoral wins next year. So those are a little bit farther away than the rest. But if we do this, we're going to be like up there. We're going to win. And I think that's it. I'm going to box off the video, cut it off here, and then we can keep talking about some other stuff.